people are asking, like for Web3s and gaming organizations to eventually take this for mainstream adoption, user experience and accessibility are going to be absolutely critical. So what innovations do you think are still like essential to make the decentralized gaming infrastructure as user-friendly and cost-effective as possible for both the developers and players?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question that kind of really gets to what we're always trying to optimize for, especially when it comes to decentralized infrastructure, GPU network, DEPIN. From terms of a user experience and accessibility perspective, we constantly have to compare ourselves to what the existing user experience is, especially from like a centralized incumbent like AWS or GCP. Those particular incumbents have had more than 2 decades at this point to dial in exactly what that user experience looks like and kind of really listen to customers and innovate based on that. So I think we have a lot of those innovations, expectations from customers that we really need to kind of incorporate into our network and bring it to that same level of reliability, quality, expectation of like SLAs, like performance, that really need to kind of make it as user-friendly as possible, essentially track both developers and players. And I think similarly with kind of taking that notion into the decentralized gaming infrastructure space, it really comes down to what cloud gaming is really competing with is like the existing sort of gaming experience today for people who have their games locally on their PC or on their console of choice, and like really comparing it to what they're experiencing, not only in terms of like interoperability and playability with like other players, but also just in terms of like performance and latency and speed and responsiveness. So I think has to do with kind of just innovations around fundamental, the more physical level of the infrastructure itself, right? Really just kind of enabling more nodes like that exist at a higher quality, that are more distributed, that are closer to those end users to actually be able to play, and kind of really making that network as dense as possible and as reliable as possible. So I think it really comes down to, it's not even sort of like a question of innovation. I think it's almost more of a question of maturity of the network itself.